Buckle up, everybody, because today we're going on a deep dive into a world you might think you know. But trust me, there's way more to it than meets the eye. We're talking about Hot Wheels and Matchbox and the rivalry that fueled their rise to toy car fame.
I mean, everybody knows Hot Wheels and Matchbox, right?
Yeah.
But I bet you didn't know that there was a battle for die-cast dominance that's been going on for decades.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to uncover today. So let's rewind the clock and go all the way back to the beginning. Before Hot Wheels burst onto the scene with its, like, flashy paint jobs and gravity-defying tracks.
Right.
Matchbox was king.
Oh, yeah.
Of the miniature car world.
Totally.
Like the undisputed king.
Yeah, they were around for a while before Hot Wheels came along.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Matchbox actually predates Hot Wheels by about 15 years.
Wow.
Like way before. Their story begins back in 1947 in England.
England, okay.
With a company called Lesney Products.
Lesney.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they weren't making toys at first.
Oh, interesting.
No, they were an industrial die-casting company. Producing things like parts for machinery.
Okay, so not toys.
No, not at all.
Okay.
But their journey into the world of tiny cars started with a rather unexpected event, the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953.
Ooh, a coronation. That's a pretty fancy beginning for a toy car company.
It's a regal start for a toy car empire, right?
Yeah, what happened?
So to celebrate the occasion, Lesney produced a miniature replica of the Gold State Coach.
Oh, wow.
The ornate carriage used in the coronation procession.
I see.
And it's a hit.
Yeah.
Huge success.
Okay.
They sold over 1 million of these little coaches.
Wow, 1 million.
Which not only, like, put them on the map, but also gave them the capital to invest in their next big idea.
Okay.
And that's where the school rule comes in.
School rule?
Yeah.
What's the school rule?
Wait, a school rule?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with toy cars?
I'm intrigued.
Okay, so one of Lesney's founders, Jack Odell, had a daughter whose school had this really strict rule about toys brought from home. They had to be small enough to fit inside a Matchbox.
To fit inside a Matchbox?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hard to believe that, like, such a simple restriction could spark a global phenomenon, right?
Yeah, who knew?
So that's where the name Matchbox comes from.
Ah, I see.
You got it.
So the little cars had to fit in a Matchbox to be allowed in school?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Odell realized there was a huge demand for these tiny toys.
Right.
And he saw an opportunity to create a whole line of die-cast cars that would fit the bill.
Okay.
Literally.
Wow.
And he was right.
Okay.
Matchbox cars became so popular.
Yeah.
And the company skyrocketed to the top of the toy car industry.
They were like the top dog.
They were top dog. At their peak, they were selling more toy cars than Ford, Chrysler, Chevrolet, and Buick combined.
What?
More than all of them.
All of them.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine?
That's a lot of cars.
That is a lot.
Okay.
It sounds like Matchbox had it made.
They were set?
They were.
Yeah.
But then along came
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, when we were talking about Hot Wheels challenging what a toy car could be, it's important to point out how different their designs were. Like compared to Matchbox.
Okay.
Matchbox, with its roots in realism, focused on creating meticulous replicas of real-world vehicles.
Yeah.
Like, they had everything from everyday cars and trucks to emergency vehicles and even construction equipment.
Right, yeah. So while Hot Wheels was all about speed and fantasy, Matchbox was staying true to its roots.
Yeah.
Focusing on accuracy and detail. So you could really see the difference in the cars themselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, for example, think about a classic Ford Mustang.
Okay.
Matchbox would strive to recreate that car in miniature.
Right.
Pay close attention to the proportions.
Yeah.
The curves, the emblems, making it as true to the original as possible.
Exactly.
But Hot Wheels, they might take that same Mustang and just let their imaginations run wild.
Yeah, they probably soup it up, right?
Oh, totally. Like flames on the side, oversized wheels, a giant spoiler on the back.
Exactly.
Maybe some crazy futuristic modification.
Yeah. And that's what made the rivalry so interesting.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about which brand sold more cars.
Right.
It was about two totally different visions of what playtime could look like.
Right.
But, you know, While Hot Wheels' popularity soared, Matchbox faced some challenges.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were eventually acquired by a company in Hong Kong.
Hong Kong?
Yeah, that also owned Dinky Toys.
Oh, I remember Dinky Toys.
Yeah.
They had some really cool models, too.
Oh, for sure.
So did combining forces with Dinky help Matchbox keep up?
You know, it did provide them with additional resources and some manufacturing capabilities, but it wasn't enough to stop Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels kept rolling.
Yeah.
Innovating, expanding their reach.
They had a lot of momentum.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
They hit a major milestone in 1991.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
They produced their billionth car.
A billion?
A billion.
Wow.
That's mind-boggling.
It's hard to even imagine.
And speaking of incredible numbers,
there's
this rumor that one of those billionth car collections contained a coupon for a real 1963 Corvette.
Wait, a real Corvette?
Yeah, a real Corvette.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Did anyone ever claim it?
So the story goes that the person who bought that particular set was a collector and never opened the package.
They never opened it.
They never opened it.
Oh my gosh, what a missed opportunity.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
It makes you wonder what other treasures might be out there.
Right, like tucked away in people's attics?
Yeah, or basements.
Yeah.
Unopened toy collections.
Oh, that's a great thought.
But it also speaks to the incredible value and collectability that Hot Wheels has achieved.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Speaking of which, did you hear about that pink VW bus, Hot Wheels, that sold for $72,000?
$72,000?
For a toy car.
Ooh.
Now, that's what I call a hot investment.
That is insane.
But why do certain Hot Wheels become so valuable?
It's a combination of factors, really.
Right.
Scarcity plays a big role.
Yeah.
Like limited edition models,
right,
or those with unique variations or errors, can fetch a hefty price from collectors.
Right, and nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like people are willing to pay a premium for the cars they remember.
Oh, totally.
From their childhood.
Yeah.
Those that evoke a sense of longing for simpler times.
Absolutely. And there's the pop culture connection, too.
Oh, yeah.
Hot Wheels has often partnered with movies, TV shows, video games to create special edition cars.
Right.
That become like super sought after by fans.
So it's more than just the car itself.
Totally.
It's the memories.
Yeah.
And associations that come with it.
It's a feeling, you know?
Yeah.
That's what makes collecting so interesting. It's a way of connecting with a part of ourselves.
Right.
Of preserving a piece of our past.
Yeah, I get that.
But you know, while we're talking about the value of Hot Wheels, the story takes an unexpected turn.
Really?
Yeah, in the mid-1990s.
Okay.
Remember how Matchbox was acquired by Tyco Toys?
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Did something happen?
So Mattel ended up buying Tyco Toys.
Hold on. Mattel?
Yeah.
The company behind Hot Wheels bought the company that owned Matchbox?
Yeah.
That's like Coke buying Pepsi.
I know, right?
I would have thought they'd want to crush the competition.
Yeah, you'd think.
Not acquire them.
So what happened after the acquisition?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, surprisingly, Mattel didn't dismantle the Matchbox brand.
Really?
No.
They kept it going.
So instead of eliminating the competition, they embraced it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why would they do that?
Well, I think there are a few reasons.
Okay.
First, it allowed them to really dominate the market.
Right.
By owning both brands.
Yeah.
They had a wider reach and could appeal to more consumers.
That makes sense.
Also, it's important to remember that Matchbox and Hot Wheels, despite being rivals, they had carved out their own distinct niches in the market.
Right. Matchbox was all about realism.
Exactly.
And Hot Wheels embraced fantasy and speed.
Yeah. And Mattel recognized that.
Okay.
By maintaining those distinct identities, they could essentially offer something for everyone.
Right.
They could cater to the kids who wanted realistic replicas of their favorite cars.
Yeah.
As well as those who dreamt of speeding down orange tracks in like gravity-defying vehicles. So it sounds like a pretty savvy business move.
Oh, for sure.
By acquiring Matchbox, they not only eliminated their biggest competitor,
right,
they also gained access to a whole new market segment.
Exactly.
They were playing the long game.
They were playing chess, not checkers.
Wow.
And it seems to have worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah.
Mattel continues to be the leader in the toy car industry. And both Hot Wheels and Matchbox remain popular brands today.
That's amazing.
Even though they're technically part of the same family now.
So in a way, the rivalry continues.
Yeah.
Even though they're both owned by the same company.
In a way.
It's like a friendly competition within the family.
Uh-huh.
Each brand striving to outdo the other.
Right.
While still being part of the same team.
Exactly.
But that raises an interesting question.
Okay.
What do you think about this whole saga? Do you have a favorite brand growing up?
Oh, man. It's a tough one.
Did you lean towards the meticulous realism of Matchbox? Or the high-octane thrills of Hot Wheels?
I think this is where nostalgia comes in.
Yeah.
Even if you weren't consciously aware of the rivalry as a child,
Right.
the type of car you gravitated towards might reveal something about your personality or your interests.
That's interesting.
Like, were you drawn to the intricate details of a Matchbox model?
Okay.
Admiring its accuracy and craftsmanship? Or were you captivated by the wild designs and vibrant colors of a Hot Wheels car?
Okay.
Eager to send it racing down a loop-de-loop.
I see.
Maybe you even had both.
Yeah.
I mean, I did.
I have to admit, I was a Hot Wheels kid through and through.
Really?
I loved the stunts.
Yeah.
The crazy designs.
Yeah.
I had those orange tracks set up all over my bedroom.
I bet.
And I spent hours creating elaborate courses.
Oh, yeah.
Setting my cars flying through the air.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said for the timeless appeal of Matchbox cars, too.
Oh, for sure.
They had a certain charm and sophistication that I appreciate even more as an adult.
Yeah, right.
And maybe it's not even about picking a side.
Yeah.
Maybe it's about recognizing that both brands,
right,
in their own way,
yeah,
contributed to the joy of playing with cars.
Totally.
Of creating stories.
Yeah.
Of experiencing that sense of freedom and adventure that comes with rolling a tiny metal vehicle across the floor.
That's a great point.
It's about the power of imagination. The thrill of competition.
Yeah.
And the simple pleasure of holding a miniature world in your hands.
It really is.
But, as we've seen, the toy industry is constantly evolving.
That's true.
And the future of play is uncertain.
Yeah.
So what does the future hold for these iconic brands?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked about how Hot Wheels and Matchbox adapted and evolved over the years. But what happens when physical toys become less relevant? Do these brands have a place in a digital future?
Yeah, that's a thought-provoking question.
It is.
I guess we'll have to wait and see how things play out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder, right?
It does.
Like, we've seen the rise of video games, virtual reality, all sorts of digital entertainment that have really, captured the attention of younger generations.
For sure.
So where does that leave those little die-cast cars that we spent hours playing with, you know?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's a valid question.
It is.
But even in this digital age, I think there'll always be a place for physical toys.
You think so?
Yeah, there's something about the tactile experience.
Right.
The weight of a die-cast car in your hand, the sound of it rolling across the floor.
Yeah.
That just can't be replicated in the virtual world.
I agree.
Do you think Hot Wheels and Matchbox will need to adapt?
To stay relevant?
Yeah, to stay relevant in the future.
I think they're already doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, we've seen Hot Wheels incorporate, video game culture into their designs, creating cars based on, popular franchises, like Mario Kart and Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
And Matchbox has expanded their offerings to include more specialized vehicles.
Like what?
Like those used in space exploration.
Oh, wow.
Or disaster relief efforts.
Okay, interesting. So they're not standing still.
No, they're keeping up with the times.
Yeah, they're finding ways to bridge the gap between the physical and digital worlds.
That's smart.
Which is pretty clever.
Yeah.
I think ultimately their survival will depend on their ability to tap into that fundamental desire that all kids have, that desire to play.
To use their imagination.
Yeah, to imagine, to create their own world.
Absolutely.
As long as they can keep sparking that sense of wonder and excitement. I think Hot Wheels and Matchbox have a bright future ahead of them.
I hope so.
Who knows, maybe someday, years from now,
we'll
be looking back on this era as just another chapter in their long and winding history.
It's a great point.
Just think about it.
Yeah.
These two brands started as small independent companies with big dreams. They faced challenges. They innovated. They competed fiercely. And ultimately, they created something that has brought joy to millions of children.
All over the world.
Around the world. That's a pretty impressive legacy.
It really is.
And their story's not over yet.
Nope.
The world of toys is constantly evolving.
Right.
And I'm sure Hot Wheels and Matchbox will continue to find new and exciting ways to engage and inspire generations to come.
For sure.
Well said.
Thanks.
On that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive.
Okay.
Into the world of Hot Wheels and Matchbox.
How are you?
But before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, shoot.
As we've seen, this rivalry has been about more than just selling toy cars.
Right.
It's been about capturing the imagination, fueling our passion for speed and adventure, and reminding us of the simple joys of childhood.
It's about the feeling, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that even in a world dominated by technology, there's still a place for the tangible, the tactile, the things that we can hold in our hands and create with our own imaginations.
So the next time you see a Hot Wheels car zipping down a track, or admire the intricate details of a Matchbox model, remember the story behind those tiny metal vehicles? It's a story of innovation, competition, and the enduring power of play.
Very true.
And who knows, maybe you'll even be inspired to dust off your old collection.
Yeah.
And take a trip down memory lane.
Oh, I like that.
Until then.
Yeah.
Keep on rolling.
Keep on rolling.
Yeah.